Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Endless Legend, where we're on our way. We are well on the path. We are going to have to generate probably a whole heck of a lot more influence in order to win this game, which means that I probably need to start focusing on influence generation. I've been working pretty hard to get up to the ability to get alliances pretty much this whole time. But now that we're cool on alliance tech, we actually really don't need science that badly anymore. This was seeming to me to be pretty crucial. Now that we have it, let's get some other stuff done. We are 16% of the way through the dust refinery. I do still want to get a lot of dust, because I want to be able to rush stuff, but I'm wondering if maybe... My plan was, get this, like, keep pursuing science until we get Hospitality Den, and then once we have Hospitality Den, go back and get the influence tax, because we're unlikely to really focus very many cities on influence stuff prior to that anyway. Now I'm wondering if we even want to finish Dust Refinery, or maybe we just want to like move it to the end of the queue after the two good influence techs. Because it is a lot of dust. But also we're already making a lot of dust. We're going to hire one more hero, and then from that point on we're already probably committing most of our dust to buyouts, and it'll be worth it to go and get prisoners, slaves, and volunteers at that point for sure. Yeah, you know what? I think maybe it is worth it to push this off to the end of the queue. Although, what order do I want these in? I probably want Public Works first, actually. Public Works is more powerful. Yeah, let's do that, and then we'll shuffle this to the end of those three. I think that's right. This right here is... I've talked a couple of times about the negative parts of recording these games like an hour at a time over the course of a week or whatever. But one of the positive things is that if I get myself into a weird, like, stuck in a weird mental track, I can back out of it more easily. I can take a break, come back the next day and go, is this really the thing I should be doing? Okay, so we gotta wait for this guy's assignment cooldown to come up so that I can fix the mistake I made here. We're waiting to buy a new hero to have them appear in Muck to take up the staff to get us 3 extra points of population. And, I guess we should really quickly just re-verify that we understand the state that the world is in. Red has expanded all the way to the southern coast, making them, I would imagine, hard-pressed to defend their empire against attackers. Look at the amount of border they share with everybody. Really, the only person they'd have a reasonable chance of defending against is me, because I have to attack them on their short side. Pink is beating the crap out of purple in a way that we probably could not fix, even if we wanted to. And that's probably good for me, as long as I stay on Team Pink and Blue. I don't really need anybody else to be alive, and if we could get a pair of alliances going here and just like form a nice power block, I'll be making a lot of diplomatic points per turn. So yeah, it's me and Blue and Pink versus basically everybody, except I'm not actually at war. Okay, let's talk to our friends. Let's talk to Pink first, because they apparently are terrifying, about an alliance. They are not super into it, but I think they're convincible. Yeah, that's not that hard to do. I know we were talking about making an alliance with Blue, but I think this is more important, I think, because Pink is terrifying. Even though Blue is more likely to be able to actually do damage to us directly. Yeah, maybe... No, let's start with Pink, both because they're terrifying and because it looks like they'll be easy to convince. Alright, so if those Harmonite get back on land, we'll go over there and fight them. That'll be a little bit of XP for our hero here. So wait, what was the cost of that deal? Can I do it this turn, or do I have to wait one more turn? Was it 320 something? I'm very spacey. It was, in fact, 290. And it's a deal I'm comfortable making. They're, like, very far ahead. And so I guess I should be a little bit nervous about giving them tech. Because what if they win a science victory? Yeah, maybe should have thought that through. But listen, I want that alliance really badly. Alright, so over in Garant, we finished our burrow, and it might just be another burrow. I think that's probably right. So we'll grab the curiosity over here. We'll grab the last water tile in the bay, and then we can start building up alongside and actually leveling the districts up. It looks to me like those neutral guys were probably eaten in the water, which is fine. That doesn't really give me a lot to do with Andom. Like, how are we going to generate XP on Andom for 5 turns? I guess we can go ashore, because there totally are ruins that can be searched. Oh, except that's an Eclipse Temple. It's only like this because we're in the Eclipse. It'll wear off. You know what? But we know the... Oh, no, sorry. This is the winter timer, not an indication of the Eclipse. My suspicion is that we're not going to get there in time to search that. Yeah, alright, let's go south. We don't really need the mastermind, so... Maybe we even... That's a movement thing, right? Yeah. We don't know how much more winter is left. I'm going to grab this. And then we're going to go for, like, the sea ruins down here. There's a bunch of sea ruins available. And in Darelmard, where we now have access to a huge amount of food, we could probably stand to pick up the grass silk extractors. At some point, we're not going to have enough wine to keep the wine booster rolling forever, and when that happens, we are going to need some options. Also, when we hit end turn in a second here, we're going to get ourselves another wonder, which is awesome. Also, what the heck was my faction quest? Ah, yes. That's a thing I have to do. It is more important, almost certainly, to get these alliances up. We need that diplomatic income, but I should do this. So, we got ourselves a thing. Looks like the, yep. That's a shame. The religion providing influence from anomalies has withered and faded. I was really enjoying all that influence. Yes, that's true. I am allied with your enemy. I am receiving feedback, neutral occurrence 1. Neutral occurrence 1 feedback received. So purple can't attack me, though. We're still at peace, so we're not going to get attacked in neutral waters. Oh, not a lot of purple left. I was going to consider converting that village. Turns out it's just very expensive to do that. Alright, well, I mean, it's something. Ozek the Chosen is... Are we going to roll through to Inspirational Leader? No, I think we're going to focus up Proselytizer. We've done a good job of channeling a ton of XP through him, though, by building these wonders. The Titan Bone Extractor needs to happen. I really do want the Demon finished as well, but, like, it's pretty important. Because we have a bunch of Titan Bones already. Well, a bunch. We have some Titan Bones already. We can make a booster out of that, and the Titan Bone booster is particularly valuable as far as boosters go, in my opinion. Also, this is a fair amount of science, but obviously we'll want to keep building and level it up if we can. But yeah, by and large, I'm feeling pretty good about our position here. It's really just going to come down, probably, to whether we can generate enough influence to win the game, enough influence and diplomatic points together to win the game before the game can be won out from under us via another player doing things. Okay, so he would do this trade straight up. I'm taking it. There we go. And you guys still like each other, right? Yeah, okay, so we're maybe going to be able to hold that, and that's going to be 5 diplomatic points per turn from each of them. Yeah, 10 diplomatic points from alliances, plus another 4 from my pieces. And I mean, would it be possible to get peace with green? He is actually down. I'm not sure if removing the black spot would... I'm not sure if getting peace with him would remove the black spot or not. I think it probably wouldn't, is my guess. It is really just a guess, though. Okay, so we can afford another hero this turn, and we should buy a hero who can actually wield a staff. So we're probably looking at a support hero. Who is the next best one for our goals? You have science efficiency, not really terribly relevant. I mean, Exit is Exit, but he doesn't have the ability to wield a staff. You have science boost 1. You have no... Man. Actually, none of these heroes are simultaneously reasonable governors and staff wielders. That's a shame. Can you wield a staff? Probably, right? Yes, you are. You are currently wielding a staff. Okay, we may take this guy even though he's not really a good governor, just because, like, we could put him... We could call to tides, and then... Or he could even just be an admiral. But in any case, he's hired. Alright, so we're going to make Sclera an army on the city of Mok. Create army on city. Cool. And we are going to give him a fancy staff. I'm not sure if he's the shepherd or if the staff's the shepherd or what's going on there, but we are going to get our population. Alright, and from here, I think all of our future dust is just for trade and rushing buildings. And we may get out of this game without ever having to build a military unit. I'm realizing that we've never built a land military unit. One of the masterminds we have is from the beginning of the game. We built a couple of Vors. We are working on one land unit, and I do think that's worth finishing to have somebody run around and collect pearls. But that's, it's a little bit different from our previous games. Also, apparently, I would have been just fine going for the ruins over there. Let's get on land and get these ruins, because these are fresh ones. We haven't searched these yet. We'll be able to get the Eclipse search and the normal search. And what's up? They would love it if I would declare war on red. And they would love it if I would declare war on green. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not declaring war. Oh, defeat the Hernas or the Tedekes. Okay, well, let's kill the Hernas. Actually, no, let's not do either of those things, because screw that noise. Wait, is it not Eclipse time? We're on Eclipse time, right? This temple ruin is not showing as an eclipsed ruin. Huh. That's weird. Because it does work on ruins you haven't searched yet, right? We've seen that in the past, I think. Alright, 100 dust. We're going to just dismiss those offers. I'm not even going to try to negotiate with them. And Andom needs to take a level in Impassioned Preacher, which will totally be useful very, very soon, I swear. So I guess Sclera is going to be a governor for the moment. That's our plan, at least. Because we're not going to see any new heroes show up on the marketplace until, I think, turn 76. And we need a governor in the interim time. Alright, so that'll get me a little bit more water, and then this one will start leveling districts up. We're actually doing pretty well on approval still. How long is the wine booster running for? We have 3 more turns of that, and then we'd only have to get 10 more wine from somebody to run another one. Yeah, maybe we're going to be just fine. So, given that we now are just buying buildings, we can afford to push this city a little bit. We should probably get a sewer system up, and then cargo docks, I think, are the next most important thing. Where do I want them? Does it matter? It doesn't. It does not, in fact, matter, probably. Actually, it kind of does. Because if I put them here, it'll be a little bit easier to level up the district that we build there eventually. And that's going to be 1334, so it's going to take a couple of turns of building. I do want to keep these guys focused on population. And in fact, pretty much all of our cities should be population focused. Except for the ones that are generating influence. So Leold is currently on industry, and Amenvar definitely doesn't need to be on industry anymore. Yep, so we get that good husbandry center population boost. He is going to be very, very effective at boosting the huge amount of influence we're going to get after we move people over. And you guys really don't need to do this. I'll just pay for the rest of the dock. Alright, and there's my 3 points of population there. Also 25 Quicksilver, which we don't really need. I'm going to have him head over here. You know what? If the Eclipse is still going next turn, we will get this ruin after all. My guess is, now that I've made that decision, the Eclipse is guaranteed to end. And I am going to make peace with green. I see no reason not to. It doesn't seem like it's worth it. It did nullify the black spot. Okay, that's actually fine. We managed to do the thing, which is set all of the other nations of the world against each other so that they would ignore me. And at this point, I probably don't need to keep pushing on that. I will say it'll be a little bit of a bummer when Pink finishes eliminating Purple, because we will stop getting diplomatic points from Purple. Although, I see that Purple's got a settlement down here. I wonder if they could hold on to that. Because if Pink doesn't know that that's there, we might get away with continuing to get those diplomatic points for the entirety of the game, even though those guys hate each other so much. So our empire population is looking a little bit better. We still have some pretty small cities, but like the capital's up at 6 now. Daramard's 8, Amenvar is 6, but remember, like in a lot of these places, we have multiple points of minor civilizations as well. Okay, the dust eclipse does not seem to have come to an end. We still have the very calming eclipse music, which means it is time to go and get myself some of these rewards. Boy, they really have strong feelings about that fortress. Not that one so much. They don't care about that one. Okay, 15 adamantium. That is fine, if a little unexciting. What else do we have around here? We have some ruins. This is going to be the last turn that Andom is with us. Oh, yep, I did not even attempt to resolve that quest. I think I want to go grab this and that, because we can get both of them in a single turn. If I search the Sea Ruin, it's going to end my movement. I want to try to get as much XP on Andom as we can before he has to go home and start working. This is his gap year, you understand? Okay, so 100 dust and also 25 Titan Bones. Alright, well, let's just pop the Titan Bone booster right now then. I see no reason to wait. And you guys get to get back in the water. And yeah, next turn. Next turn we'll have him run over here, search this, and then teleport to a city. I think that'll be good. The old has its dock up. Wait. Right? No. Yeah, we can't build the dock. Where? I wish that the dock was a little bit more obvious from the air. Let's get into the, Oh, the dock's over here. It would be a little bit more obvious if I was looking in the right place. Although, I will say that this is kind of, it's almost entirely hidden by this building. Alright, so with the dock there, what we want to do is build a burrow here, I guess? Because we want to build around the capital a little bit, right? Yeah, we can build here and here, or here. We're not going to be able to get any more water exploitation for a little bit, but it'll be fine. Something tells me we shall persevere. I noticed that we do not yet have... Oh, we should definitely get dust filtration. That's a high priority. We don't yet have central market up. I suppose we should probably build that right after the burrow. We don't need it right this second, obviously. And in Tariel... That's probably worth pushing for, and then more burrows, man. Always more burrows. So this is our dock here. Which means that building here and then here will level up that district, and then as we continue to build down, we'll keep leveling our districts up. And this gets me another water exploitation. We are on 41 pearls now, so we know that winter's coming soon. Let's take a quick look at this. So it gives 10 industry on river terrain. On sea or lake terrain, it actually does require the ice shelf, which was pointed out in the comments of the last episode. That is a little bit less good, but how many cities do we actually have rivers in? Daramard has a ton of river tiles. But is that the only place where I really took advantage of a river? I think mostly I was worried about coastal stuff. Yeah. That does make it considerably less good than I was thinking it was. Whoa, what is going on with the nameplate on AldoDev? That's very strange. Okay, it stopped. So maybe we don't want to spend a bunch of dust on this. Maybe we'd be better off getting something else. I don't know what, though. I mean, the Winter Burrow is powerful. Abbeys can be very powerful. And, you know, a big benefit of the intensifiers and the Abbey is that they're another type of district you can build without needing population. They just extend the amount of city you're allowed to have as long as your city is somewhere near a resource. That might be worth picking up, actually. Well, not something we need to be thinking about right now. It's going to be another turn or two of dust gains before we can buy out the cargo docks here, but once we have the cargo docks here, we'll be able to run some pretty good sea trade routes. I really wish we had control of this sea region. But we can still run sea trade from Mok through all of this stuff. Right, so where are we at here? 1202. Yeah, with not very much coming off of that every turn, unfortunately. We got Cold War by red, which obviously we must fix immediately. No, 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 no. Okay, I gotta give them something. Let's give them some resources. That's a lot of mithrite that they're asking for, but I guess I literally don't have a use for it. I will say I would rather trade Hyperium than mithrite, and a big part of the reason for that... Oof, although it looks like the mithrite's the only thing that we can really do this with. A big part of the reason for that is that mithrite is used more in the kinds of buildings, the kind of high-tier buildings we'll actually build. Hold on a second. Okay, I thought I saw some weirdness with the quantity changes and the amount he likes this contract. But no, I would really like to maintain at least peace with everybody. I think we probably shouldn't go for alliances with anybody else. But my concern there is just that the shifting war will cause us to be will cause our current allies to disregard us. I wonder if we could get this and that, because we have so much movement right now due to the eclipse. It was 80 dust. Yep, we can still get the Sea Ruin too. Well, this was a productive time for Andom at the very least. Got ourselves a quest. Construct an influence-related building to receive 80 influence. Well, you know what? Something tells me we just might do that. Alright, so let's have our... Where do we want him? Aldodev and Mok are the two cities that are currently uninhabited. This guy still has 2 turns left on his assignment cooldown. You know, Mok has more population, so that's probably where the cultists should go. And you can... Well, you can make it to here next turn if this is... Oh, this isn't going to change either. That's not a... not an eclipse thing. Alright, also, we've received the quest to earn the Guardian Slayer because somebody built a Guardian. Turn 68 feels like it might be unusually late for the first Guardian. I might be wrong about that. But we actually have a fair amount of districts, so this stuff is useful right away. We are definitely building the National Arena in Amenvar. Amenvar is where this is going to be most useful. Is it worth derailing people from food to rush that? You know what? We're not taking enough turns off of it. I think I would rather have the population that we're generating by focusing on food. And of course, there will be some amount of rushing that occurs. How close did we get Andom to level 3? We got him about halfway through, too. That's not bad. Oh, summer has begun again, or rather the eclipse has ended, and also we've moved up an era. Apparently. It was a song. Oh yeah, I was really close to the next era. Well, I mean, I think I still want to finish the Dust Refinery, but after we do that, it might be worthwhile to go after Endless Mechanisms. There's no direct influence boosting tech in this era, and Endless Mechanisms can reward you with some pretty cool stuff. Let's see what new resources we found. Dust Orchid, that's pretty handy. And some Pixie Blood. So actually, I'm going to get Advanced Harvesters, because I like Dust Orchid quite a bit as a resource. Then we'll get Endless Mechanisms. The wines come to an end, which leaves us at still Fervent, actually. Okay, well then I guess I'm not in a hurry to get a hold of more wine. Obviously, our friends will have no problem with me wandering around their territory, reclaiming the rest of our ruins. I really, really like this song. This is the new Kapaku track. Very good. So this place is only content, and it will drag our approval down as it gains population if we're not careful. Here we need one more turn. So where are we at on diplomatic points now? For some reason I can't find the word diplomacy, even though it's right there on the screen. 53-33. Now remember, we don't have to win the diplomatic victory quickly, we just have to win it before anybody wins any other victory. At the moment, nobody else is a threat. The closest victory condition, I think, probably right now, is Pink being at 31% of the expansion victory. At some point, we're going to see the science victory happen, and it's going to happen relatively quickly, but we will get plenty of warnings. So for right now, our primary goal is to continue gaining the two resources we need, diplomatic points and influence, at the highest rates we can possibly get them, while kind of ignoring everything else that's happening in the world. To some extent, this is what I meant when I said that it's like, it's a little disconnected from the theme and mechanics, the diplomatic victory, because the best way to win a diplomatic victory probably shouldn't be to ignore everybody. Do I want to take Sam in? Honestly, I kind of don't think so. Yeah, I don't think I care. Okay, so let's also talk about Empire Plan. We have access to the real Empire plans now, like plus 50% food in all your cities. However, that's 2,800 influence, or, in terms of diplomatic points, 280 points toward victory, which is more than 10% of the amount we need to earn to win. So, if we're going to go after a big Empire plan, it has to justify... the cost has to be justified, right? I'm actually perfectly fine just doing this again. I suppose there's an argument that that's worth doing. 420 influence is not really that many turns of influence gain lost. Like, how reasonable would it be for us to do this? 3220. We have about 10 turns, so we'd have to be in the neighborhood. We'd have to be making about twice what we're making now. A little bit less, but ballparky. I think that's probably not happening. So that being the case, I think we're just going for this Empire plan again. Which means that I don't have to do anything. I do not have to stop spending influence. In fact, I could spend influence semi-aggressively from here. For example, to unpacify some villages. So it'd be 253 to flip that one. 305 to flip this one. It's actually... It's cheaper to flip destroyed ones. I thought it was the opposite. Well, we probably should, if we can. The 25 adamantium that we get from this is not useful. I don't know what else is waiting for us down our faction quest. It could be that something in a future step would be cool. And maybe I should take Sam in. I'm just thinking, like, luxury boosters are not very expensive right now. There's a lot of ways that we can hold off. And the value of Samhin is non-zero, certainly, but I'm not sure that it would be worth what it would do to our approval level. Then again, it probably wouldn't have any meaningful effect on our approval until it got large. I suppose I shouldn't just leave it empty. Yeah, I should not just leave it empty. Also, the demon can get out here and get me some pearls and stuff. Apparently, some of the pearls were, in fact, left behind. I wonder if it is the case that the Alayi didn't take all the pearls because they were worried about getting me mad. I don't know if the AI actually considers the diplomatic factors of things like that. Like, we definitely need that. At some point, we would want to get another borough going. Just keep building out our city, leveling districts up and stuff. But if we're going to build a settler, it probably makes sense to build it here. It probably waits until after the National Arena is finished, though, because the National Arena is really good. And then after we... at some point, we're going to want to pop the city back over to industry mode. I don't know when that is. But I guess let's get Samhin if they're going to let us have it. No sense not taking it. So what's the story with my trade routes right now? Oh, hold on. I'm gonna wait until the beginning of the new turn so we can let them generate. So I'm curious how much we're trading with other players now. It may still be the case that nobody has real docks, despite the fact that they have the dock tech. I was gonna say, there's no way there's just one notification. Oh, come back to this ruin and inspect it for grass silk. You know, I probably should. Yeah, go get that. I know I just pulled you out of the water, but go get that. Oh, right. That's going to eat all your movement. Okay. Is this asking me to declare war on somebody? Yep. Sorry. He's offering us the inoculation station, which is a pretty serious tech. But I just can't get involved. Or rather, I could, but it's not financially or militarily expedient for me. Alright, well, some Hyperium. I guess maybe that'll be good trade fodder. Go grab this one pearl. And then probably just, like, hang out. Okay, we gotta move him here so that he doesn't get struck by lightning. And then just hang out until winter hits, probably. Here in Garant, we need Glory of Empire, and then by the time that's done, we'll be able to build another burrow. I remember, leveled up burrows are one of the sources of influence in the game, and there are not a ton of ways to get extra influence. So, well worth the trouble, I think. In fact, it might be more worthwhile to build burrows here than it is to build the influence buildings at the moment, because we don't have a lot of burrows, so that the influence buildings wouldn't increase our output by that much. We just build out toward the water a little bit more. Oh, you know what? If we're going to get Iceworks, this would be the time to get it, because this would be the time to build it. And the city would get way better at building during the winter, but none of our other cities would really benefit. We could be boring and just grab Chapel again as well. I think I'm going to hold off. I'm going to hold off and pick up some of the special district types. So, yeah, let's do this. Let's grab ourselves another river tile. Okay, all of that is done, and this needs to get bought out. And what is the state of our trade routes right now? Yeah, we should probably pop that. That seems good. So we're still only trading with ourselves. Yeah, it may well still be the case that none of the other players have built a cargo dock, despite the fact that we know several of them have the tech. They just don't think it's important. I don't like the way it seems like Red is maybe scouting the open region. Alright, we're gonna let this turn finish. We're gonna get one more point of population. Then at the beginning of next turn, we'll move all of these guys over onto industry, so as to complete the settler as quickly as possible. I am certainly not declaring war on blue. Are you crazy? And everybody's leveling up. Definitely get that industry. Unfortunately, there are not a lot of ways to get extra influence from level ups. A lot of the skills that increase influence increase resource generation don't work on influence. So that's part of why it's so important to get cultists when you're going for this, because they have some of the very few skills available that do that. Okay, a dearth of dust. That is not really that bad for us, I don't think. Like, it's going to cause us to lose a lot of dust. In that sense, it's quite bad, but it isn't going to cripple our dust production or anything. And we have access to refineries now, which we should definitely start building in places where we can afford to do that. So where do I want to aim my dust? This is a question. I suppose we're saving up, right? If we're building another city, we're going to need more dust for heroes. Probably it makes the most sense to build a burrow next. I was thinking about just going for the refinery. So we can't realistically get access to more water. We could build here, that would level this district up, and then I could build here, And then this district's only... This gets us 2 more water tiles and makes this district only 1 more boost away from leveling as well. Yeah, that seems fine. Alright, we probably want to wait until turn 76, right? I think that's when the next group of heroes is going to show up. So, for now, we can't afford to spend on just getting buildings done. But we want them to be the right buildings. So yeah, I think we maybe want to save up on dust for now because we can't build the good buildings that we really want to build anyway. Or we can't buy out the good buildings that we really want to build. Does anybody else need orders? Ah, yes, of course. Right, the city that I just bought the thing out in. Winter is going to be upon us any moment now, but... At this point, it's so fast to build this kind of stuff that we may as well just get it done and get the advantage for as long as we can before winter hits. And then probably just the rest of the basic buildings. Like, let's get all that going. Yeah, we'll figure it out from there. To be honest with you, I'm pretty happy about the fact that our approval level held even after the wine ran out. I was afraid that once we were done with wine, we were going to have some problems maintaining our happiness. Oh, and you can definitely get reassigned. The question is, do we want to wait even another turn? We found ourselves a Tome of Endless Savagery. Not really appropriate to our goals, the idea of endless savagery. Because if I wait one more turn, he can get 1 more ruin. He would not be able to get 2. Yeah, that's fine. I don't think it's worth holding him off anymore. Let us assign him to a city. Start getting that sweet governor building stuff XP. And actually, Mock's about to finish a bunch of things in quick succession, so that'll be good for him. So I think we might be able to one-turn the settler when we move everybody back over to industry here. Then we get National Museum, and probably like as soon as National Museum is done, we gotta start thinking about moving people over to Influence. Obviously, the Husbandry Center, we don't quite get it down to 1. Well, it's still worth it to put everybody on industry for the rollover. Get that museum done a little more quickly. And I'm gonna put this guy in Garant, I think. I don't want to pay for him to just be sitting out here, but I do want him in position to grab pearls on this side of the Empire, and we can build another unit over here somewhere, maybe. Or bring that mastermind home. But he still has stuff to search. Look at that, they let me walk right through their cities. What a bunch of fools. Although, I guess technically, with our alliance in place, me winning the game isn't really that bad for them. An allied victory does still technically count as a victory, after all. So with 1,000 dust, what do we rush? It might actually be worth it to rush the National Museum here, which we could do next turn. You know what? Let's finish off this National Museum. These guys are good enough at building. They can get the thing done on their own. Interesting that Red was able to take Rothcolor there. I don't really want Blue to lose a bunch of territory. Pink and Blue are both at war with Red, though, right? How many of these are actual troops, I wonder? No, it looks like they're almost entirely real naval units. Well, that's a shame. Really love to see some people show up at Rothcolor. I don't want to get involved personally, obviously. Okay, they've taken us back down to peace. That's fine, we'll fix that. Let's try to get it without giving them any more tech, though, maybe. Although, they're really into this not allowing me to have the diplomatic stance I want thing, so we might not be able to afford to do it any other way. I give them one tech and then something else. Bunch of Hyperium. I'm fine with Hyperium going in. Okay. Hopefully that'll hold for a little while longer. It's a pretty significant difference in diplomatic points. I do think it's worth it to maintain that. I just have fear, is all. Okay, so it looks like Samhin is still available. Red's moving stuff through on the way to the war, but... I assume Blue must have won a battle at Amgar recently for it to be at 0 population, but no fortification. And Red is actually not at war with Pink. We might be able to mess with that. Like, what if you declared war on Red? You would ask me 1,000 influence for that. Well, I certainly don't have that laying around. Never mind, pretty soon I'm going to have that laying around. That's not nearly as unreasonable as I made it sound there. Yeah, we're producing, really a lot of influence. Alright, let's talk about where to settle in Samhin. This region is definitely crummy. We're going to get a single anomaly, probably. I don't think it's worth settling on the shore because the shore is so close to the border. We're probably just going to take a normal, by comparison, kind of crummy settle near this anomaly. Yeah, there's already 2 converted villages here. This is worth doing. So it'll be like here, probably. Just kind of okay. Down here, we get 8, 6, 7. Yeah, see, it's not actually better because settling on the shore requires us to shortchange ourselves in terms of spaces. Is this better? 4, 14, 8? No, it is not. Okay, well, that's going to be a crappy city. But citizens in a crappy city can still produce influence. Where is the next ruin we're going after? There's a bunch over there. I guess let's head down here first. We'll grab these 2 and then scoop around, maybe. We're about to have Advanced Harvester available so we can start picking up the Dust Orchid, which is a pretty good one. Note, again, no influence boost. Speaking of influence boost, we are on 30 die now. We're only gaining 2 per turn. Can I trade 10 dies off of somebody? What I'm thinking here is that we're about to settle a city, and I'd really rather not have to actually have to wait on the die. Like if I got, it wouldn't even have to be 10 die, right? It would be 8 die because we could just get 2 more on this coming turn. Okay, they don't want any agreements. They consider those to be negative terms. Man, they're really going to squeeze me for 8 die. They do not care for me. I'm putting forth a tremendous amount of effort to keep them friendly. You don't have any die. Yeah, all this stuff is showing up as pretty negative. But maybe they will actually want some of our resources. I wouldn't mind my dust. It is remarkably difficult to get a small amount of die from people. That's true, you do have a weak navy, don't you? What with you not having any coast and everything. I think we're actually just waiting. We're going to found this city, the booster's going to get 5 points more expensive, and we're just going to have to wait the extra 3 turns. Because nobody's going to make a reasonable trade with me. It's possible that they are correctly detecting that I am a victory threat. So now we have to decide which direction do we want to build this city in. Do I want to go up to this part of the river or down to this part of the river? Because we could build right here next and get another river space immediately, and then build there and instantly have a level 2 burrow. We could build down this way and do like pretty much the same thing, and then in a couple more burrows we'd have a couple more river spaces. I think for right now, let's just expand like that, and then our next burrow will be pretty good. And over in Leold, here in Leold, we definitely have the resources to take advantage of a national museum. Okay. We also have a whole bunch of dust here, and I don't know exactly what to do with all of it. First couple of burrows in this city are going to be pretty strong. It might be worth just rushing one of those. And then there's like titanium and glass steel and emeralds to be had. I don't even care about the emeralds, really. We might build an intensifier there, not because I want emeralds, but just to get a free district. A population-free district. At some point we're going to need a central market, maybe? I'm not actually certain of that. Like, let's just rush all this stuff out, because I don't know what else to do with my dust. We're going to be able to hire a new hero. Actually, I guess I spent a little bit too much. We're probably going to have to wait till 77 to hire our new hero. I'm fine with that. That's okay. Well, we are gaining resources rapidly. It's definitely time for the people of Amenvar to focus off of industry, although I'm not sure which direction to go in here. Do we want to go straight to producing a pretty large amount of influence, or do I want to focus for longer on getting a hold of population? Settle that real quick just to make sure there's no way we could lose it. 53 Hyperion. Maybe you'd like to declare war on Pink. Look at all the stuff I have for you. I like that they're actually, like, they're trying to engage in, like, intrigues and stuff as well, though. Definitely finish Proselytizer. You know, this is not a bad time for this whole city to go on influence. And we're still producing a lot of food. It's just that if I pull everybody over onto food, we really get the population points quickly. I'm not really sure where the correct inflection point in terms of strategy is here. Let's see. We have 1, 2, 3 normal burrows. So after we finish this, we're still going to be able to build another one, right? We have the city center, and then we have the burrow for 2 and the burrow for 4. So we actually have 2 more burrows left in us. Yeah, this is the burrow for 6 that we're building now. Okay. So yeah, we're going to get to build another burrow after this. We might be able to rush to another burrow beyond that, is what I'm thinking. And if we're able to, if we're in a position from an industry standpoint to do that, then it behooves us to get to 10 population. But also, man, like, at some point we just have to convert into full influence mode. I'm not sure where that point is, or even really what the best way of knowing where that point is. And we've run out of other stuff to build. It doesn't really help to build coastal batteries, I don't think. We want to try to save these resources for influence buildings anyway, so I guess we're just making military units now. And in a bunch of places, we really need to push over to influence. Also, Empire is losing approval. We could just buy some resources. What do we have enough to buy? I guess there's a ton of dye on the marketplace. I didn't even think to look at the marketplace, but yeah, of course, with this many players, of course there's a ton of dye on the marketplace. So, if we bought ourselves 13 of those, I could have done this before settling the city. That'll be enough to push us back over to Fervent. And, of course, dye. It's pretty important. So we're 5 turns off of the next Empire plan. We could go for a more expensive Empire plan, I suppose. I don't necessarily think that's actually, like, really valuable. Let's go back and grab prisoners, slaves, and volunteers here. And then, is there anything else we're missing that I really want to grab? We could get Native District. What are my assimilation options right now? We don't actually care about anything that gives us stats, although it is worth noting 6 Goran villages is pretty cool. But yeah, we could go 10% food in all of our cities. Plus resources is also fine. So Native District has a non-zero value. And then, I don't know what from there. We'll figure that out when we actually get over there. Oh, defeat the Avenging Army, no! Run! Run from the Avenging Army! I don't want to defeat the Avenging Army. I want to hide in the water. So that's what we're going to do. I gotta remember to press that button really quickly at the beginning of the next turn. Which I guess actually is right now. Oh, the new city. Sure, the new city should probably build things. That's fair. There could be up to 14 turns before the next winter. But I probably don't want to buy a lot of stuff out. Yeah, I'm just going to have them build that manually. I want to be able to buy the hero in 2 turns. Okay, so now we're good. Where's my guy? Here's my guy. Now we're good. We want to mash the heck out of this. You can see the Kapaku player slowly volcano forming the world. Oh, hey, it's winter. Well, we can pull the seed storage out of that city's build queue now. Quickly. We probably don't want to grab any pearls from our neighbors or from our allies' territory. All right. We did get the winter effect we wanted. It's good for us. I'm still not going to declare war. I know I have a military unit now. So you're like, hey, you could help out now, right? And that's my fault. The particular excuse I was using, you can see how that might contribute to false hopes. But what I meant to say was not, hey, I can't participate in your war, but rather, I have no interest in participating in your war. Oh, hey, there's that sea monster. I guess we could go fight the sea monster at some point. I could put together a navy that is capable of that thing. I'm trying to look for good pearl deposits on land where I think they're more likely to be stolen. Are there sea deposits around my my ships? Yeah, there's some. These guys out here, and we'll have the Vor go this way. Sub go this way. So now that we're in the 3rd winter, we have access to the full 3 tiers of stuff here. And I think we got to be looking for good opportunities to build these extra district types. We are adjacent to a luxury in one city. We're adjacent to this anomaly in this city. We could double up on that with the Abbey. We've built over a bunch of anomalies now, but we could use the Abbey of Anomalies here. We can't use it there. Can't use it there. Oh, no, we could use it here. We're next to those crystal flowers. You know what? The Abbey of Anomalies might actually be a pretty strong pickup. We could double over this anomaly, even though the positioning of this district is not awesome. Chapel is also good. I mean, there's a lot of pearls to be had out there in the world. Oh, right, I need to take the seed storage out of here for the moment. I guess we're not in a big hurry to build Pearl District right at this moment anyway. We probably shouldn't spend the pearls to purchase the district sign until the moment when we actually want to start building. Alright, so that burrow is going to get us a level on the Alchemic Institute. And then after that, we can maybe burrow to here, and then put down a Luxury Intensifier. So, like, Luxury Intensifier is also good. Yeah, we have a lot of good options. It's hard to know what the best one is. This time our embarrassment is of riches, which is a nice change of pace at the very least. You know, from the other types of embarrassments that I normally find myself in. You may as well just get back in there. You're not going to have the speed to pick up any other important pearl deposits. The Titan Bones have ended, which is not great for my approval levels. We could get 22 more Titan Bones, but I probably want to buy a hero this turn if we can. Oh, heroes are expensive. So, Food Boost 1, Slavery, Dust Efficiency, Food Boost and Dust Efficiency. Exit would be fine. He's a little bit less exciting now that it's so late in the game. Like, honestly, Influence Boost 2 might be the way to go, just because we're not going to be able to fill up Proselytizer on anybody else, probably. Even so, though, even the first skill point allows us to get extra influence. Yeah, it's probably Exit the Chosen, so we need to wait until next turn. Next turn, we're going to have it by about 130 dust, so we can spend up to 130 dust on some stuff. Can we buy enough of a luxury to run a booster? It really needs to be Titan Bones or wine. The Titan Bones are... Okay, yep. Titan Bones are numerous and cheap. This is going to leave us just a little bit short of that hero next turn, but we can sell some stuff to make up the difference. And it's 2 more. Too valuable a boost to allow it to lapse. Yeah. You can run... We just need to make landfall away from that quest army that we spawned. Because obviously I have no interest in interacting with them. Awful lot of red dudes in my territory. Should I close my borders to red? Oh man, red's actually winning the war. Hopefully blue is trying to convince pink to join up. But I'm going to close my borders to red. In an attempt to staunch the bleeding a little bit here. Okay, so you're out of move, but there are pearls to be picked up. Looks like we really are running out of good stuff pretty much everywhere. I guess I could be building Vors instead of demons for the purpose of maybe putting together a navy that's capable of fighting the sea monster. Not that that's a thing that we need to do, but it might be fun to fight the sea monster. So you're all on influence. You should... Maybe I'll get onto influence. The thing is, at this point, we're going to be able to build another burrow at the same time that we get enough population to do it. Or we're going to be able to build another burrow as soon as we finish this current burrow. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll probably pull them off population then. You, new city, you just need to build, like, stuff. You just need things here, all kinds of basic things. Okay, we're not in any big hurry anywhere. And then after we hit this Empire plan... Oh, you know what? Maybe even right now. How expensive is it to turn these villages? Like, I might be able to distract them. 318 each. If the plan is still to just do this again for 960, we could just move our faction quest forward right now. Even if we wanted to go to here to facilitate, you know, just like using our dust to get things set, which I don't know that we really need to. We could still afford to do it, but I think I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna convert every village in Red's territory I could see in the hopes of distracting Red. We'll still have plenty of influence for the things we need, and I don't think this is super likely to result in meaningful distraction to Red, but I do think it's going to move our faction quest. Some Broken Lord's troops have decided to stop the threat that your expansion represents. Uh-oh. An army is coming for me from Amenvar. Oh. And unfortunately, they're all in the water, so I can't see their stats. What does it cost to buy a Vor? Too much, too much. Well, that's a little non-ideal. When we complete this, we'll get some wine, which is alright. But we're going to have to figure out how to deal with that. I suppose we could probably put together something. We can update this demon design. My guess is these guys aren't going to have amazing stats. Obviously, it would be great if we could catch them in the water, but they might make landfall next turn. We can't get our current naval troops anywhere near them, so yeah, we're gonna have to build a solution in this area, and we're probably gonna have to build it there pretty quickly. But I think that's pretty doable. I think for now, though, that's gonna be it. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time when we apparently put down these Broken Lord scum, and then try to convince everybody in the world that I'm the greatest. I don't actually know what the diplomatic victory represents. I assume it's that they elect me president of Ariga. So yeah, we're doing that. And we'll see you then.